2 weeks before our wedding, my fiancé cheated on me with her gym trainer. This is how I ended it all. A 38-year-old man, and I got engaged to my fiancée Cassie 2 months ago. Before that, we dated for 5 years, and she was the most compassionate person I have ever encountered. Red flags are not in her DNA, and she went above and beyond to make sure she was happy. She always made me feel light, and I never felt nervous after she made an effort to be faithful, even during the most trying time in the relationship, long distance. I know it's the bare minimum to expect loyalty because it's a general responsibility, but in long distances, many people cheat frequently. Her appearance changed everything in my life when she proposed to me. After that, we were happily engaged and anticipating our ideal wedding in Paris. As the days drew nearer, Cassie had this issue where she felt self-conscious about her weight, even though she was the most beautiful woman in my opinion. Always felt really unattractive about herself. I did everything I could to help her feel confident and loved about herself, but it rarely worked. As the wedding day drew nearer, her anxiety over her body image grew more and more, and it began to bother me. Eventually, I made the decision to support her, and we had countless conversations between us where I told her that she looked great, just the way she was, but she wasn't convinced and kept picturing how she would look in the wedding dress when the assurance didn't work. When the assurance didn't work, I asked her if she needed any assistance from me, and she initially remained silent, so I asked if she wanted a personal. She told me she had this thing on her mind but was afraid to ask, so I told her it was a gym trainer who could help her get the body she wanted before the wedding. Her face brightened with hope, and she hugged me. I didn't really want her to change because I really loved her chubbiness. It was cute and hot. She was very happy and excited about it. Okay, as long as it made her happy. She told me that her friend recommended a personal gym trainer named Sam, who also assisted her in getting in shape. Cassie's personality was that she constantly wanted to feel and look good, because her weight was a source of bullying during her high school years. When we went on our first date, she told me that, and I was shocked because she looked stunning. I frequently saw her making an effort to blend in and present herself in a way that made her appealing to everyone, and she felt empowered when someone, especially someone of the opposite gender, complimented her. At first, I was annoyed that she didn't want to. She wanted to look good just for me, and my praises weren't enough to make her feel better. However, I later realized that this was due to the years of trauma she had experienced, and she now wanted to look good because she deserved to enjoy her moment, which I was happy to give her. She never flirted or displayed any readiness. She asked me if I wanted to meet her trainer when she first joined the gym, but I had to decline because of my hectic schedule. She was wearing tight shorts and a sports bra with a jacket, which made her body shape visible, and I felt a little uneasy because there were plenty of other options. I asked her if she had to wear that instead of leggings, and she replied that there was a dress code in the gym that she had to adhere to, as told by her friend. I was a little surprised to hear that for the first time, but I didn't give it much thought because we were both genuinely happy because Cassie was going to live with me that day. After our session, she called to let me know she was leaving for work and asked me to come get her. When I finished my work, I picked her up and finally saw Sam, who was every gym trainer. He was very attractive and fine-muscled. Cassie gave him a side hug, and we both, after she left, everything was going well for a few days. But Cassie became completely focused on the gym. She spent more and more time there, and we didn't talk much. She also came late every night to hang out with the friends she made there, and even after she got home, she wasn't really there, so I began to question her without realizing it. I was excited to live together and enjoy the courtship period, but things were going just the opposite of what I expected. Her behavior concerned me. From time to time, she was really not interested in having any conversation with me, which was easily visible because of her replies. Whenever I asked her, she appeared quite unhappy and uninterested in me, but she was content with her friends and Sam back at the gym. Whenever I became angry with her for being late or not spending time with us, she defended herself by saying that since we would be living together for the rest of our lives, I shouldn't be whining about these things. Little things like the fact that she is more interested in her personal trainer, Sam, than in the man she is getting married to are major red flags. You can be sure she is training her well, and I'm sure she's having the workout of her life. Hello everyone. After giving it some serious thought and examining my own behavior, I initially believed I was toxic and suspicious there's no reason why I shouldn't assume anything on my own. Discussing it with her would be better for us, both. Keeping things to myself can unintentionally make me resent her, so I decided to talk to her, and realized how badly she messed up the entire situation. We didn't lie, but Cassie was getting the figure she desired, and she was following a healthy diet regimen and looked really attractive. I decided to bake some cookies to give us a chance to talk. I called her and asked if she wanted me to come get her, but she said no, saying she was already on her way. Her voice sounded very tired and a little stressed, so I told her I wanted to talk too. Since I had already seen her social media post, I wanted to talk to her, but she didn't sound happy at all and told me that she wasn't in the mood for any of this. I asked her what was wrong, and she continued to move away. I lost control of my anger and started talking, asking her if she enjoyed her time with Sam. I lost my temper and told her that I was thinking about how much she had changed since the day she joined the gym, and that she never had time for me. She stopped walking towards the room and asked if I wanted to feed her those cookies to make her fat again so she would look unattractive. She began blaming me instead of reassuring me, saying that I was trying to confine her because I didn't want her to look pretty and that I was doubting her. I was shocked by her statement, which also claimed that I could never relate to her because I had never experienced what she had. This was just another victim card she used. She started crying and apologizing to me after I told her that I only wanted her attention and quality time and that the conversation was never about me doubting her. Rather, I told her that I was just jealous and that I never claimed or believed that she was cheating on me. She tried to make me feel bad for hurting her. I asked her repeatedly if everything was okay, and she told me that she and her best friend had a fight over some sly things, and that her best friend had said some hurtful things to her, so she was letting her loose. I had never seen her like that before, so it felt like she was lying in emotional turmoil. My best friend was upset with me and said she wanted to rest. I gave her the space she needed, but she lied. I know she does. And it was a big lie, which we'll discover later. I was unable to sleep at all and kept shifting positions, and she was lying on the other side of the bed, facing the wall. Neither. And I was unable to make any inferences about her behavior. The following day, I asked her to prepare to go to the gym, but she declined. When I asked her if she had stopped going because of our argument from the previous evening, she grinned, gave me a hug, and explained that she was extremely exhausted and simply didn't feel well, which is why she was avoiding the gym today. Her phone started buzzing, and I asked her to answer it and let him know. She did, and after hanging up, Sam called 3 more times, but she didn't answer and left the room after eating breakfast. To be honest, that's when I became suspicious, that the gym trainer was phoning her so frequently, even after she had assured me that she wasn't going to happen that day. I was looking in the cupboard for my file when the book Cassie was reading abruptly fell to the ground. Something in the book caught my eye. It was contraceptive pills. My hands were shaking from the pills, and I wished she hadn't used them. The fact that 2 pills had already been used shocked me because Cassie and I never engaged in unprotected sex because she refused to take contraceptive pills due to their negative side effects. Seeing those pills made me queasy, so I put her book back and walked out of the room, heading towards the office. I was unable to focus properly, and the first thing that came to mind was whether she had cheated on me with Sam. I wanted to cry aloud because, rather than assuming anything, there was nothing I could do, and I had to wait for her to come and tell me everything on her own. This changed how I behaved toward her, and when she asked if I was okay, I just nodded and pretended to smile. She assumed that I was still upset about her behavior from the previous time, so she asked me if I was okay over dinner. I said that I was, but eventually I couldn't contain myself and blurted out, "Why did you start using?" I assumed you were aware of the side effects of the contraceptive pills, but she turned pale and asked me how I found out. I told her it didn't matter, and she responded with the most famous thing I can say. "Go ahead and explain." She told me that she hadn't had her period for a month, so the doctor recommended. When she lied to me about taking contraceptives, my heart fell, and I knew it was time to expose her. I asked her to show me her prescription, and I asked what kind. A doctor would recommend taking contraceptive pills without conducting a proper test. She was unable to respond, but she told me that her prescription was at her house and that she would show it to me. She finished her food on a daily basis right away and cleared the table of the dishes while avoiding eye contact with me. Our wedding, which was only 2 weeks away, was gradually turning into dust. After refusing to go to the gym for a week, Cassie asked me to drop her off. As I drove toward the gym, I noticed the closed signboard. I asked her why she was coming today when the gym was closed, and she told me that she wanted to meet Sam. For some reason, we lost all of our joy and excitement. It had been days since we had sat and chatted. I left her there because of the supplements he was going to give her, but my thoughts were still there. The day I discovered those pills in her book, I was almost at my office when my instincts told me to make a U-turn. After some resistance, I finally did so, but I wasn't thinking clearly. More like I wasn't thinking anything at all. Just letting my instincts dictated my next move when I entered and saw her and her trainer, Sam, in a precarious situation. My heart sank when Sam leaned in to kiss her, but before I could scream, Cassie turned to face me and pushed him away, and I realized she was actually doing exactly what I was trying not to think of. I truly loved the girl, and it was unbelievable to see her like that. My suspicions that grew stronger every day weren't just wishful thinking, they were true. 2 weeks before our wedding, I received the invitation card, which was the biggest betrayal of my life. My legs went numb, and Cassie followed me outside, pleading with me to give her a chance to explain. She was crying and weeping so loudly, and she kept telling me that she truly loved me and that it was just a lust thing. The printed out document would be thrown in the trash, just like the way she ended our relationship over lust. It was the worst trauma I've ever experienced. Cassie called me numerous times, but I didn't answer because I didn't have the energy to talk to her. Instead, I went to my parents' house because those words were disgusting and difficult for me to process, so I left the place right away. I have been staying here for the past 2 days while Cassie is frantically calling to beg me to meet her. She is aware that I am at my parents' house, but she dares not come here because she knows she would be humiliated and exposed in front of my family. My parents have a hint about the situation, and I believe it is only 2 weeks before the wedding. I don't know how long I can keep this a secret from them. I don't want to keep it either, but I want to calm down before telling anyone. I'm so sorry, OP. It's difficult to have a suspicion, but it doesn't matter if you see it for yourself. They left Cassie alone in my apartment, and I haven't participated in any conversations about the wedding. Update. After getting the courage to tell my parents and sister what had happened and why I was calling off the wedding, I told them that it was a very conscious decision on her part if she went and had to get contraceptive pills. My mother couldn't believe it, and I spent a few days there with them, and I was devastated to hear that she kept reassuring me that it was just a part of life and that I should not allow it to ruin my future. Instead, I should accept my fate and move on with my life, and I told her that everything would heal in due time, but without Cassie. Before I made the decision to find closure, I returned home, and as I opened the door, Cassie came running towards me, hugged me, and began sobbing loudly. I felt nothing for her. She leaned over me and remained there for a while without saying anything, and I allowed her feelings to flow out. In the 5 years that we have been together, I have never let her cry like that. But she was finished, making herself into a victim, and it was time for her to own up to her actions. I sat there unmoved like a statue until she stopped crying, at which point she released my arms and told me everything that had happened. She told me that it takes a lot of strength to listen to your partner confess about cheating, and she said that since the day she first started dating, he used to look at her sensuously, and because of him, she felt attractive. He would flirt with her and give her lots of compliments, but it was only a romantic attraction, and things gradually got out of hand as he touched her during some exercises, making her unable to stop thinking about him. She told me that she truly felt loved by me and that she also loved me, but sometimes she felt she wanted more. It was really difficult for me to hear those things, and I asked her if I wasn't enough. Sam's method of approaching her persuaded her to do something heinous. Like that. And she mentioned her history of body shaming and bullying once more. I snorted with laughter at her comment and told her to stop using her past as an excuse for her infidelity because it had nothing to do with morals. I told her that she enjoyed attention and that she always wanted to be noticed. But I disregarded this, and she continued to. She continued her explanation in silence, filled with regret and guilt, telling me that one day while doing push-ups with Sam, he began touching her. She tried to resist but gave in because it made her feel strong and good about herself. She became possessed by her need for attention and lost it. It was not safe sex, which is why she had to take contraceptives, and I nearly started crying. She told me she was sorry and would never go to the gym again, but it kept happening until she thought I was suspicious. She didn't know that she had set our wedding on fire for emotional reasons, and I was unable to talk, so I sat there with my face in my palms. As Cassie sat on the floor holding my legs, she claimed to still love me. She attempted to lift my face and hold my hand, but I resisted and became repulsed by her touch. When I finished listening to her, I removed the ring from my finger, put it on the table, and informed her that there would not be a wedding. She seemed shocked, as if I had said something unexpected, and after doing something similar, she told me that she should have anticipated this and advised me not to make a snap decision that I might later regret. I told her that my biggest regret was blindly trusting her, and I was happy that she felt regret for it. But there. The only way to resolve this was to sever all communication between us. Our wedding wasn't a comedy show, and neither were my feelings. She should return to her previous pursuits of making herself appear strong or attractive. Now that she is unrestricted, she can do anything she wants. Apologizing and kept on weeping, and I yelled at her and told her to stay away from me and stop showing me fake love and concern. I left the place and she followed me outside. I stopped, turned back, and told her to call her parents and inform them about this. The realization finally hit her that I was indeed calling the wedding off. I met my sister, and she advised me to reconsider so that I wouldn't regret it later because Cassie does really regret it. She asked me to give myself some time to see if my feelings calmed down and to try giving her another chance. I told her that I was making this decision mindfully because everyone thought I was acting impulsively, but a person who could cheat on you once or twice. I do love her, but not more than my respect and self-worth. I can't live my entire life believing that my wife would be cheating on me right now. Once the trust is gone, it's gone forever, and you're just confined to prison. Marry someone who had cruelly betrayed my trust, so I called off the wedding with a stone in my heart. I pictured my life, my afterlife, and everything with her, and it ended forever. I was glad that it happened before the wedding, but it was painful, and I knew I deserved better than someone who could cheat on me because of some insecurities. But I'm keeping myself occupied with work and travel, so it's not as bad as I thought it would be. Cassie was the only one who made a stupid choice in this case when she cheated on you, saying that it was in your best interest to cancel the wedding because she only found this Sam guy attractive. No matter what she looked like, you two loved her so much that she threw it all away. She's not the right person for you. You deserve better than someone who can cheat on you because of their insecurities. You loved her without conditions, and she felt safe in your arms. I'm sorry, but what do you make? We appreciate you visiting us today. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to ensure you don't miss our next video. We hope to see you soon. Do you have a similar story? Share it with us in the comments section below.